Hello and welcome to Chapter 18 of Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Jay Cluett.
And I'm Mark Hoffmeyer.
And joining us this week we have two very special guests. First up, from the mundane adventures of a fangirl, it's Jeanette Ward.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here, and I understand the weight and responsibility of this, the chapter of Deep Blue Sea.
And of course we're also joined by, from Simplistic Reviews, it's DJ Valentine.
Mark Hoffmeyer, Jay Cluett, Jeanette Ward. Full name set for emphasis. I don't want to get political here, but I kind of feel like a Republican coming on MSNBC or a Democrat coming on Fox News, because I glean that you all love this film, and I'm seemingly on the side of hating it with the fire of a thousand suns.
Blasphemy!
So, in the immortal words of an actor in a good Rennie Harlan film, I'm the wrong guy at the wrong place at the wrong time, but I'm still excited to be here.
So I thought this would be interesting. I booked the guests for this show because I know that this is the pivotal scene of the film. For listeners who haven't been keeping up with us, this is the scene in which Michael Rapaport has his shirt off, and there's other reasons.
Beefy, very beefy.
Yes,
That's rap meat.
This is the infamous Sam Jackson monologue, and the point at which Samuel Jackson leaves the commentary of the film. He's done. He wraps the commentary and walks out.
Golf.
He's off to play golf for reasons we'll get into. And this is the famous scene. Everyone loves this scene. So I thought, we've had fans of the film up to this point. I know that Jeanette is a fan, but I know that DJ's not a fan. So I thought it'd be interesting to get into it. And it's this scene in particular.
I'm going to be Statler and Waldorf in this scene. Let's just cackling you.
I need to get something off my chest. Can I tell y'all something?
Go for it.
Hold on. I also want to point out, having the guys, long-time listener, first-time guest, I so wish I had started from the beginning of this podcast in marking down the number of times Mark says y'all, or can I ask y'all a question? Because that would be an exceptional drinking game for this podcast.
There have been some that have been edited out.
Can I ask you a question, Jay?
No, Mark, no you can't.
How many times have you edited that out?
I don't. I haven't kept track. I know, because there's a few times where you've said it over somebody else, someone else has said something over you, so I just removed a few. But then you've said it again. So I haven't affected the overall total. There's still at least one per episode. Probably three.
Yeah. So I read this oral history about the making of this scene from this website called Befores and Afters. And it was about the visual effects of the scene and how it was created. And Jeff Oken, the visual effects supervisor on the film, said that this scene was originally 7 pages, and Samuel L. Jackson hated it so much that Oken, who had worked on The Long Kiss Goodnight, which is actually Sam Jackson's favorite role as Hennessy in that, they went behind his back and they basically made it shorter because Rennie Harlan wanted to make it a super serious horror film. But here's the thing I have a problem with. So maybe, like, Harlan in the commentary admits that he wanted to make this speech pompous. You think water moves fast. You used to see ice. It has a mind. I ate my friends. Yeah, I ate all my friends and I became a Wendigo. But
God damn it, Mark.
It's so they're saying 7 pages. Now, I hate it when people are like, I don't believe them. But you look through the history of cinema, and 7-page monologues really don't exist outside of a few rare cases. That's a 7-minute monologue. Oof. And going through Rennie Harlan's filmography, he knows how to cut a movie. He knows how to make it quick. There's never been a 7-minute monologue. So in this article, which a lot of people bring up now, whenever people talk about this death scene, they include a link to this oral history, and it's on beforeandafters.com. But okay, maybe the speech was a little longer, but it was pompous on purpose. He wanted to make this speech pompous. But there's no way that it was a 7 pages of dialogue. There's no way that they would film a 7-minute monologue. Like, I don't believe that.
Well, no. I wrote down the transcript of the speech, and it's an A5 page. So
yeah.
It's like half of an A4 sheet of paper. I wrote it down. It's in front of me.
There's no way that this was 7 pages.
No.
Because
there's no way a writer is typing this script and going, no, I need some more. You're typing a script for a schlocky shark movie. No, I must have 2 more pages. There's no way that's happening.
Unless the script included every cutaway to a reaction shot and trying to paraphrase what was going on inside the minds of every other character, because it happens a lot. In my mind, this is a single tracking shot that stays on Sam Jackson and it never leaves him, but it's edited all over the place. It keeps cutting back to the rest of the group. And I want to just
wish it was a single tracking shot this time, but
we keep cutting back to brooding Carter.
The only way it would be longer is if he gave a very detailed recounting of what happened on the mountain, which we don't need because in every other chapter he's mentioned offhand or someone has said to him, "Oh, the thing in the mountains," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm that guy from that thing in the mountains." It reminds me of, I don't know if anyone ever read the Da Vinci Code. But
unfortunately, yes.
The book 4, Angels and Demons.
Oh, no.
In the Da Vinci Code, every chapter, someone always says to, what's his name, the lead, "Oh, hey,
Robert
you're
Langdon.
the guy from that thing in Rome. You're the thing from the thing in Rome. You're the guy from the thing in Rome." And I feel like this movie is very much, "Hey, you're the guy from the thing in the mountains. Yes, we've established he was in a thing in the mountains." So for just to have been a 7-minute speech about that thing in the mountains, no.
That's the thing that pisses me off the most about this scene in that speech is that all I care about when he's talking about that thing in the mountains is that thing in the mountains. Do not remind me or pitch me a better movie in your bad movie.
Yeah. Where is the inevitable prequel about...
I want to see the thing in the mountains. I want to see why ice has a mind. I want to have an ice age metaphor. I want to see him.
It knows it killed the world once and got a taste
for
murder.
Which is like, I want murder. That's the poster. I want that movie.
That's the tagline for that movie. Ice. Oh my God! You've all seen the sci-fi Sharkalanche with the sharks in the snow. You guys have seen that, right?
No.
Please tell me that's real. Please
Hold on.
tell me
No, yeah, it's real. It's Shark Avalanche or Shark. Yeah.
Sharkalanche.
I like Sharkalanche.
It came on like right before or after Ghost Sharks, where the sharks are actually ghosts and they can get you in your tub or a glass of water because they can go in any water because they're ghosts.
Hippo sharks.
Sharkalanche sounds like something you get at Dairy Queen. Like you put a little fin in your ice cream. Sharkalanche.
Dairy Queen, get on that. Also,
like red things floating around. Oh my gosh.
Cherry
Swedish
on
fish
top.
in the water. Oh my gosh.
So in the prequel on the Alps,
yes.
did he give a similar speech about
No,
the previous
I think
adventure?
Yes,
I think he's
about the thing
timid
that
in the
happened
Alps.
before
It's
he
like,
does it.
12 of us survived that crash into that volcano, but only 9 of us. You think ice is fast? You should see fire.
No. Yes, and in that movie, they reference the thing in the desert, which you think
You were nothing in the
lava
desert.
is fast. You should see a sandstorm.
There we
Or
go.
I see Samuel Jackson being like timid. I would even like recast him with like a more like a younger actor, like a Lakeith Stanfield, where he's like timid and his experience in the mountains is what makes him hardened, and he eats that man, and then I'll go into some shark exploration. But no, that movie is what I care about, and I remember. I know what they were trying to do. They're trying to do the Hitchcock thing, you know, with Psycho or what Wes Craven did with Scream. But it just feels like they just did it like executive decision, where it's like after Steven Seagal buys it on the plane, I don't care. I'm out.
It's heavy-handed, admittedly, but I love it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I found the script, actually, the original script that they had, and it wasn't 7 pages, but here's an excerpt. So when we were in the cave, I ripped open Hank's bone and started drinking his bone marrow while we roasted his flesh over an open flame. We were able to create a fire after murdering Steve and taking his lighter, and we cooked both of them while we made broth, and we found carrots and a rabbit that we were able to put into the cauldron.
As I have said, I've listened to every episode. I don't believe a word you're saying.
As we twisted their bodies
Welcome to my life,
on the
Jeanette.
sticks, we just, our mouths salivated as we watched our 2 friends who we didn't really like spin and cook.
How much money do you want for me to produce this movie? I will give you the money today. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm in for 100.
As the bone marrow sinked into my body, I began to feel the Wendigo powers
Oh boy.
seep into my soul, and from now on, I've just craved meat and sustenance.
This is like a monologue that Neil McDonough has in Ravenous, I swear.
Yeah, this is Ravenous. This is straight up.
That's my theory, because they were released in the same year. 99 had some good horror movies. So, that's it. Audition.
Before we get to the monologue into any more depth than we have, there is a small bit of business that happens before the monologue. in which Scoggins discovers a maintenance shaft that was it there the whole time?
It was cleverly written into the
plan
scene.
Number one. Because plan number one was Carter saying, let's get to the sub, let's go up 2 at a time in the sub, which that's a bad plan. But then suddenly they're there with the sub. Also, was the sub really that damaged? It looked fine. You just climb in it and throw it into the water. Oh, a surprise maintenance shaft. We'll just go up the maintenance shaft. And yes, I don't mind pointless shirtlessness from guys in movies, but I would be fine with Rappaport keeping his shirt.
Doughy, yeah.
I mean,
I can't talk, but but yeah, we will definitely dig more into the maintenance shaft on next week's show when there is just maintenance shaft.
So is it ironic that Shaft dies before you talk about the shaft?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We should call Scoggins Scog Guns.
I don't feel like he's earned that name.
No.
Uh,
There's also a lot of technical, well, I suppose that's after the monologue, a lot of no, the first part of we're 233 feet from the ocean floor. A human can swim 2 feet per second. A shark can swim 50 feet per second. But of course, these are mako sharks, so they're probably faster than that, being that they are the fastest shark.
he says the average human swims 2 feet per second. That's not true. The average human swims 2.9 feet per second, so closer to 3. And the average shark, if you
We've
look
gotten faster over the last 20 years.
maybe,
A yard.
the
A
average
yard.
shark, taking into account all sharks, is just over 7 feet per second. But mako shark, it's like 60 to 80.
Yeah.
The
see,
fastest mako shark is at 88 feet per second. So
Are we nitpicking
Yes.
the math coming out of the mind of Michael Rappaport?
I mean, that's all I do here, DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm shocked it doesn't say it's 230 feet, give or take a centimeter from the.
I rewatching this movie, that line bothered me so much more than it ever has before. Now that you pointed it out, like, yeah, they're 8 feet, give or take a centimeter. No, that's not how anyone tells measurements.
And even if they were somehow in the same, like metric imperial, he's talking about the height of waves in the middle of the sea. They go up more than a centimeter.
So,
He wants, so after this podcast is done, he wants to start dunking on Scogs. He just wants to start hating on Scoggins after this. I try to keep this really positive, this podcast, but there's so much Scoggins hate.
Well,
over to the docks.
It'll end
You guys
eventually.
talk a lot about mako sharks and how amazing they are, and it's interesting. And this movie is very Jurassic Parky. It's got a lot of Jurassic Park in it, and I feel like in Jurassic Park, both the book and the movie, as a kid, you grow up, you get the T-Rex. Everyone's T-Rex, T-Rex, T-Rex. You think about the T-Rex, you think about dinosaur, predator, T-Rex. The Jurassic Park, the movie, and some of the others gave you like the raptors as maybe tier 2 predators, but when you get to know them and their abilities, they're really more of a tier 1 predator and kind of better than the T-Rex when you get into it. I feel like mako sharks, the more you learn about mako sharks, everyone's a great white. The more you learn about mako sharks, they're kind of better than great whites in that they're faster. They're better looking because they have the bigger eyes. The gorgeous metallic
evil.
blue on the top and the white on the bottom. They're smarter because their brains are bigger. They have the biggest brain to body ratio, which this movie covers realistically. And they give birth to live young, and they do not engage in sibling cannibalism, unlike tiger sharks and bull sharks and some of the others. They live for a really long time. They don't use electroreception when hunting. They use vision more. That's why their eyes are so big. They hunt swordfish, the sailfish. And the reason they know they're smart is because, and they're so fast because what they eat is fast, right? They hunt the swordfish, the sailfish, those giant game fish. They hunt them by going up, snagging their tail, taking off the tail. The fish can no longer propel, then it can come back and eat the rest of the fish. Incredibly smart. The mako shark should be getting a lot more love from people in general.
I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
They're evil. They're all evil creatures. They all need to die. No.
You can't really keep them in captivity.
Nope.
Most warm-blooded sharks can't really have them in captivity. They struggle with the walls because of the nature of the shark. So there you go. That's another.
That's why I love the Aquatica. It's open water, so they can actually keep them fenced up there. They thought it through. They thought this movie through.
Oh yeah. The science is
Perfect
sound.
film.
Yeah.
You guys talked about, you guys were calling it Jurassic Shark on the previous episode, and I was thinking about you guys, when you guys were talking about how what came first, similarities, what came first, Lost World or this?
Lost World's 2 years before this.
Lost World, yeah.
Because Samuel Jackson's death is the exact same death as Richard Schiff. Like, it's literally the same death.
It's close. I mean,
They
Richard
rip
Schiff
it in
is...
half, and they're fighting over it, and he's, when he gets under the water, I mean.
Oh, yeah,
But they
the
haven't
actual...
He didn't threaten their babies prior to.
Yeah, the actual post-attack being ripped
Right.
apart. Is very, like, I love that Spielberg's description of the Richard Ship death is he calls it the wishbone moment.